I live in Wisconsin. For the most part, it's amazing. It's gorgeous year-round and I've always felt safe here. But one of my friends begs to differ. For privacy reasons, I'll call him Ryan. Ryan's been my best friend for 7 years now. We met during 4th grade, and when the popular game Five Nights at Freddy's came out, we started talking about it, and now, 7 years later, we're still great friends. He recently told me a story that happened a few years ago. He didn't want to talk to me about it and waited so long because of the nightmares he had. So, Ryan was home alone at his house with his family friend. I'll call him Finn. Finn and Ryan were playing video games on the PS3 in his mom's room. It was roughly 9:30 p.m. It was pitch black outside. Ryan and his family are lock freaks. They keep everything locked, and by everything, I mean everything. All the doors that could lead outside, the windows, even on the 2nd story, and they have screwdriver holders for the rooms to lock. While Ryan and Finn were playing Little Big Planet in his mom's room, Finn stopped playing. Ryan looked at Finn, confused. He asked Finn what's wrong, what happened, the usual when something like this would happen. What Finn told Ryan would forever haunt him. Finn told Ryan that as he went to pick up his glass of water on the table next to his mom's bed, he saw someone, or something. All Finn could say was he saw a black figure step out of Ryan's mom's closet and float away. Both frightened, Ryan and Finn picked up the spare bats they had in each room and checked everywhere. This is when their fight or flight response kicked in and they chose fight. The thing is, nobody was there. The windows were locked, the basement and attic were clear, so was every other room in the house. The doors were still locked. They both locked the bedroom door and waited for Ryan's mom to come home. When they did, they told her about everything and they all searched the house again. Nothing. Not even the dust was disturbed. Everything looked normal. The thing that confirms the paranormal aspect is that both the back door and front door have bells on them to signalize when someone opens the door. It'd be physically impossible to open the door without the bells making noise. This experience have kept Ryan and Finn up late at night. This story is a little bit of paranormal and a little bit of clairvoyance. I was 7 when my dad killed himself. My mom got the call early one July morning and struggled with how to tell myself and my 4-year-old brother. She took us kids to McDonald's hoping that some french fries and the playland would soften the enormous incoming blow. What she wasn't expecting is for me to already know. I can't explain how I knew. I wasn't really told. I didn't overhear an adult conversation. I just woke up that morning knowing my daddy was dead. She was creeped out, but was also kinda used to it because this isn't the first example of me just knowing things. Second part of this story is a few months later. We are talking November-ish of that same year. My frugal, money-saving, borderline thoughtless mom decided it was a fabulous idea to move her grief-stricken children into the house that their father killed himself in. All was well and good for a little, but one night I woke up to see my dead father's ghost at the end of my bed. I spoke to him. I was awake. I know what I saw. He asked where my brother was and I told him in his room. Then he disappeared. The next morning I was telling my mom I saw Daddy. She was placating me, but I don't think she believed me. Then my brother, who had been across the house during this conversation, came to the kitchen and also told our mom she saw Daddy. What are the odds 2 children had the same dream? I know things like that happen, but I'm more inclined to believe our dad came to visit both of us that night. I know this story is far from terrifying, but I'd like to think it made me a believer in the paranormal. These incidents happened about 3 to 4 years ago when I was living on a base in Washington, D.C. One night, my husband and I were laying in bed. We were both laying on our sides, facing the bathroom, so my back was turned away, facing the wall on my side. We were close to drifting off to sleep when we heard loud footsteps running into our bedroom. We thought it was naturally one of our kids. Ages were about 7 and 9 at the time, so it wasn't unusual if one of them would come into our room at night. So we thought nothing of it. I felt something behind me standing there, but nothing else. Didn't climb into bed, didn't say a word. I turned around and nothing. No one was there. I saw straight up and my husband just looked at me. I went into my kids' room and both of them asleep. out like a light. My husband does not believe in anything supernatural, and even he looked frazzled. He kept saying there was an explanation, but really? We both heard someone run into our room and stop beside me, and I felt whatever it was, and no footsteps ever left the room. I still get chills thinking what if I was facing that way. About a month later, we were laying in bed, and we were just sitting up, talking, playing on our phones. The bathroom in the hallway's light went on. We thought it was weird because we didn't hear anyone going into the bathroom. No door shut, no noise. Then the light goes off. I get up and look, and guess what? Yep, both kids out like a light. There was no way in that short time they could have done that or not even be heard. So we got a camera for the inside of the house. Almost every single day and night you could see orbs floating all around the camera. One time you could hear talking, which still chills me to this day because no one was home when it happened, and when I got the notification of noise and listened to it, my blood ran cold. I know the base is very old, and I've heard stories about the buildings. They're having weird things go bump in the night, but I didn't hear much from anyone living in housing. I never felt a bad presence or felt threatened, but I definitely know there was something.